One of the most popular things that I have done on Facebook, I'm now bringing to my YouTube channel. One of my favorite things to talk about is how to navigate the grocery store or specialty stores and be able to do it in a way with some degree of distinction in terms of what you want to avoid. And so I went to Costco yesterday for the first time in 5 months. And so today I'm going to kind of review some of the things that I think are the best buys there. And so 2 distinctions: no soy, no canola. If you're wondering why, soy generally tends to be a byproduct of the processed food industry, tends to be dirty, and tends to be something that you really want to avoid consuming. Canola oil is part of the seed oils, which are highly inflammatory and likely very rancid before they ever get to the food that you're consuming. So these are 2 things that I generally recommend that everyone avoid without exception. So to navigate Costco with those 2 distinctions, that's what I found today. So Costco does a really nice job with organic fruits and vegetables, whether they be frozen or they're fresh. And so I picked up raspberries and blueberries because it was easy. My kids will still eat these. I love raspberries and blueberries because they're low glycemic, lower carb, and generally will not spike your insulin like a lot of other things like tropical fruits. I also found, to my delight, this pepper snack pack. And so this is Shishito Peppers. If anyone is familiar with Spanish tapas, Shishito peppers are one of my favorite things to eat. And so they actually have this container that's filled with olive oil and sea salt so that you can roast these up at your home. So I'm actually really looking forward to having these. Next are things like butter. Kerrygold butter, which is grass-fed butter, is a really nice option. You can usually get larger quantities. I also think about sustainably caught sardines. Usually get these in a fairly large packet, but these are really nice. Lots of omega-3s, which are the anti-inflammatory fatty acids that we want more of in our diet. And most Americans are actually low in omega-3, so we want more of these in our diet. But something that's been really popular with my children are these grass-fed, pasture-raised, uncured jalapeno cheddar bratwurst. These are amazing. They're delicious, clean ingredients, and definitely a best buy from my perspective. I would say what has been, and you can see my family has already dug into these, this is a grass-fed, grass-finished kielbasa. These are fantastic. These are beef, really delightful. I bought 2 of these at a time. My family dove into these already. They weren't even available to share with you. And just for shits and giggles, last night we decided to buy this Kevin's Thai-style coconut chicken paleo. Tried it out last night. I was pleasantly surprised. There's 5 servings in this container. I think realistically it's probably more 4. But I thought it was a clean profile, reasonable ingredients, definitely something that you can definitely check out and you could throw into your freezer and just have for a night when maybe you don't feel like cooking or you have people coming over, you don't have time to cook. Now I'm going to move on to the really important things. You can always find great wines. There's a lot of Spanish wines in Costco, and so that's definitely a great place to find affordable options. I like avocado oil, and this is actually an avocado oil spray that you can use for a multiplicity of reasons. You can spray it on vegetables, use it in place of lining your pans. Really easy to use. To my swimmer's delight, I actually found these organic bean, rice, and cheese burritos. These are not low carb, they are not gluten-free, but for my very, very active teenagers, this is actually a decent way to get in something that's fairly clean. And there are actually, this is 3 pounds, so there's 8 burritos in this container, and they can prepare that themselves. I also like seeing Barilla's red lentil pasta. It's literally just red lentils. So a gluten-free option. Barilla does a nice job with that, and this is actually spaghetti. I also want to mention, these are Paleo Bars. So there's a lot of stuff in Costco that has a lot of seed oils or soy. I was happy to see this is a Paleo Bar, so it's largely almonds, honey, clean ingredients. Fairly low carb. I mean, this actually only had 14 grams and actually 10 net if you take out the fiber. But definitely a good option for an athlete or if you're on the go. Low amount of ingredients, which is always a benefit. For fun things, Simple Mills makes these almond flour crackers. If you're not sensitive to oxalates, this is a really nice option. My husband has already opened these. And this was something new. These are bacon cheddar crisps. So these are kind of a nod to people that are wanting something that's like a cracker, but is really just made of cheese and bacon. And I had to actually tell my husband not to open these before I actually did this video this evening, but that is actually an interesting option. Haven't tried that yet. I am, however, dairy-free. And last but not least, because I don't want anyone thinking that I'm the food police, I always find fun foods. I think it's important to moderate, not deprivate. So this is Unreal. This is a brand this is still candy, let me be very clear, but it's got cleaner ingredients, no artificial dyes. This has 5 ingredients, and there's actually one bar is 8 grams of net carb and 70 calories. So you could have one of these as a end of the meal kind of treat. But my favorite of all are actually these dark chocolate nuggets. They're coconut and super seeds. Simple ingredients. You can have 1 ounce of these is 12 grams of net carbs and 7 grams of sugar. It's not a free food, but it is definitely something you could consume in a small quantity that would not completely derail your diet. So this is my latest Costco find. I didn't find a lot, I have to be honest. I don't know if it's related to COVID, social distancing, maybe people aren't shopping as frequently at Costco, but I will be doing one for Trader Joe's soon. Keep your questions coming. I want to make sure that I'm offering up content that is valuable, and let me know if you've tried any of these things.